Hey, what's up, Seattle? How's it going out there? Rise and shine. Welcome to Morning Cup of Kraken. Kraken fans, hockey fans, glad to have you guys here for this fifth installment, getting closer to the holidays here at Sasquatch NHL. We got Thanksgiving coming up and another beautiful morning outside. The sun shining. It's cold, but it's nice out there. So thanks for being here on your Saturday morning along with me and a good guest here. Going to bring him in just a second. But another special game day edition for you guys. Tonight, your Seattle Kraken continue the homestand, taking on divisional rival, the Los Angeles Kings, visiting Climate Pledge Arena. They lost last night in Vancouver, and their coach wasn't too thrilled. We can talk about that here in just a minute. But yeah, grab your coffee, grab your tea, frappuccino. Jim, if you're out there, like I say, grab your double French press. Let's get things rolling. We'll kind of settle in, start your weekend off right here. Morning Cup of Kraken. Going to catch you up on everything happening, talk about the game. Live Sasquatch Studio. Once again, I'm your host, Mike. Go follow on Twitter if it still exists. I'm pretty sure it does. I think I just sent a tweet over there. But and a quick reminder, I do have the podcast version of the channel on all your favorite podcast apps over there, and I'll have this episode out there if you want to listen later on today and some of the other stuff that we've been doing over there. So, and of course, while you're watching here on YouTube, it goes a long way if you want to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on alerts, all that stuff helps me out, allows me to keep making the coffee here on Saturday morning for you guys. But in any case, just glad you're listening, watching, wherever you're from. Be sure to check in the chat down here. Give me kind of a heads up where you're watching from. I like to do that roll call, and we'll ask some questions. You guys can play along in the chat as we go. So thanks for being here. I don't want to keep my guest waiting too long. Mike Loreno, let's bring him in right now. Tuning in, got the microphone, got the video. We're all set. How's it going, Mike? How you feeling today?
Oh, good. Good morning. How's everybody doing?
You know, I'm feeling pretty good. I've got my coffee as usual. Unfortunately, it's decaf, so I might be talking
decaf coffee.
We were out of the other. Basically, I ran out yesterday, and I went digging in the cupboards, and I found a few more K cups, and they happen to be decaf. So that's how I'm rolling today. I'm usually, you know, I don't get too hyped anyways, but yeah, decaf's not going to help me.
That's cool. I already had my coffee because it's a little bit later. I'm used to getting up early, so I'm good to go.
Nice. Well, good to have you here. Let's take a quick roll call in chat. Looks like we got Ty Jacobs saying Mike and Mike in the morning. Oh, sounds like a good radio show. Definitely has a good ring to it. Radio voices only, right? Shiny Stuff, longtime browser on Twitter, first time viewer. Great to have you here. Always love having the new people jump in. We got Striatic here saying huge opportunity to leapfrog the Kings today. And Mike, we'll talk about this. A little bit of a preview. We do like to talk, non-Kraken stuff as well, and community, and have fun here in the mornings. Not too formal. That's the way we roll. We got Josh coming in from the East Coast saying hello, all good morning. Needed a break from woodworking in the garage. Oh, that sounds like fun. Oh, cool. Gregory Vini also saying good morning. So great to have everybody along here. Going to continue to pop your comments up on the stream as we go. But yeah, Mike, let's talk about a few things here as we get into the stream a little further.
Yeah, of course.
You and I, we met last year at one of the 32 Crew watch parties, which are great. I think you were one of the first people I bumped into. We talked for a little while. So I don't know, it's great to meet people at these events. Maybe talk about your transition a little bit. I know you moved up to Seattle from California. Maybe just kind of give us your background a little bit and how that all transpired.
Yeah, so I was in the Bay Area. Well, I guess I'll start out in the beginning. I grew up in LA, so Kings have a little bit to my heart a little bit because I grew up rooting for them. But then I moved to Reno when I was 15, and I was in the Reno area for a little while in Nevada. And then I went to the Bay Area after I got to college, got into video games, worked there for a bit. And then I decided a long time ago that I always wanted to be in Seattle. So I just said, forget it, I'm making the move. And I made it up here. But the first year was rough. I had no friends. So I found hockey, and now I have a lot of friends. There's a lot of people that see me everywhere. It's really great seeing everyone's faces and really cheering on the Kraken all season long. Off season was great. I mean, all around, I've just made so many friends throughout all the sports. So I think everyone's had to give up my Dodger fandom too to become a full-on Mariners fan now. It was a
Good.
little rough growing up there, but the city, I love it.
It's a good time to be a Mariners fan too. They, definitely making some improvements and got into the playoffs there first time in a long time this season. So great to see that. Mike, you're obviously a big part of the Kraken community. Do a lot of work for the 32 crew. We'll talk about that in just a second. But first, I kind of want to look at this competition that's going on, and I guess we could call this part of your campaign trail right now, right? We've got it's the My MVP Upper Deck Hockey Fan Competition. Maybe you can give us a little more insight into this, because you kind of caught me by surprise. I didn't even know about this at all yesterday. So maybe just kind of educate us all on what this is and some of the people involved.
Yeah, so I thought it was going to be a joke. I didn't think it was real, because if you win, you get 2 tickets to the Stanley Cup, which I will say now, if I go, I'm going to go. I don't care who's there. It's going to be Kraken everything. It's going to be ridiculous. And you'll definitely see me looking like a dweeb out there. But it's basically a contest for like the top collector for, all things like cards, autographs, hockey memorabilia. It's meant to be like a contest for that, or to show your fandom. So I kind of did a little bit of both. So I said, let me give it a shot. So I signed up, and now basically it's a like-based contest, which is nice compared to some of the contests that you've seen in the past where it's like you can cheat the system. Mm-hmm. Here, you really don't have a way to do that. So basically, you go on Twitter, you go to the original post that's made by Upper Deck, you like it, and it gives me a chance to move on to the next round. There's only 2 rounds. So after this, it's me. I'd be representing Seattle against 31 other teams. And hopefully Vegas doesn't make it. That's all we're yeah. So it's a fun contest. I hope that people check it out. And I mean, if you want to drop a like on it, it's greatly appreciated. I hope that you'd pick me, but it should be fun.
That's cool. Yeah, I love seeing these different competitions. I remember last year they did the Fan Legends. I can't remember exactly what that was called, but I think it went through the Kraken, and they worked with the state lottery or something like that. And that was fun to follow on Twitter, and all the different campaigns and things like that. People were, yeah, it was just a lot of fun.
It got pretty intense for a minute there, but yeah, I got lucky to win that one for like one of the categories. I mean, it was multiple categories, a little bit different, but it was nice. It was a great experience. I'm glad they're seeing more of this like fan interaction and making things fun for everybody.
Definitely engages new fans and existing fans. We always talk about grow the game. So I think these types of things are great. Get people into the game in lots of different ways. So good luck. I did vote for you. I also voted for Cosmic Plague. That's Ray over on Twitter. So best of luck to both of you guys.
I was going to say it's bittersweet because that's one of my close friends on there. And I hate to see go just one-on-one with that. I mean, either way, you're not going to lose voting for one of us in Seattle. It's a shame that we couldn't be on different sides going down to the final round versus having to do it so early in the contest.
Oh, Ty dinging me here saying decaf, man, that's a Seattle sin. So yeah, you're right. I apologize. Shiny stuff also. Busted. I didn't want to have decaf. That was the only option I had, and I can't do a Morning Cup of Kraken show without coffee of some kind, right? So sorry, I'll definitely restock the cupboards. Just taking a couple more comments here, Mike, as we go. Josh was talking about the Kings. Would we leapfrog them? How do the tiebreakers work in the NHL? So usually, I think it starts off with points, obviously, in the standings. And then from there, it gets a little more nuanced. You have to look at the regulation and overtime wins, also the number of games that you've played, and just wins overall. So I think that we would actually leapfrog based on number of games played if we beat them tonight. But it's so early. I hesitate to get too worried about whether we're going to leapfrog LA tonight or not, because there's probably going to be a ton of bouncing around in the standings throughout the season. It's just kind of the way I see it going. But yeah, well, we'll see. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about what you do, Mike. I know that you are hugely involved with the 32 crew as the community strategist there. Also a community lead in your professional career there for private division, correct? Maybe you could kind of give us a little bit of background and how things work in both of those areas in your professional life.
Yeah, so I've been doing community management for the last coming up on 6 years. So it was kind of a natural fit to slide into doing something that I love. So my 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, depending on when I feel like getting out of bed in the morning, is basically making sure that I'm able to interact with the community and build fun things for the video game world, working on a game called Kerbal Space Program, which is that's the main passion of mine. So if you got kids who are into science, check it out. Then after that, we work on fun crew initiatives. So you saw like the food drive. If you haven't seen, we had a food drive going on a few weeks ago. Shout out to Caitlin and everyone else that was involved with that. Also Cosmic Plague, Ray. We wouldn't have been able to do it without the two of them because I was unable to make the event. And now we're working and going into the holiday. Like we're looking at like what can we do to help make holidays fun. It's more than just giving a couple dollars to an organization, but how can we bring toys to kids? How can we make sure that people don't go hungry? We're a small org, like there's no funding for us. So that's like my main passion is driving in how we can engage with the community, bring more people together and not just make hockey for a singular person, but for really for everyone and make it more than just an org where we get together and watch hockey, but bring fun things to everyone. I mean, I'm constantly trying to put together giveaways. It's hard because the stuff is expensive. It comes out of my pocket. Most of the stuff we do is all paid by us. So yeah, I mean, it's just right now it's just bringing everyone together. And if you haven't checked out 32 Crew, please do. I mean, there's a lot of good people in there. Everything from I made a lot of my friends from there, and then also outside of that too. But it's really good work and really is for everyone.
Definitely, yeah, great group, very supportive. I've talked a lot with Brandon over time here. Going back to season 1, kind of when I started doing this, always supportive. They've got their podcast going on over there. It's great. So yeah, great group. Lots of events, the watch parties again. Those are always a great way to just kind of meet everyone and start getting involved. A good entry point into Kraken fandom and community involvement, which, like you said, this time of year, very important. In a tough year for a lot of people in general. Just the kind of way economics are and things like that right now. So a tough year, going to be, very important to try to donate and, like those Secret Santa type things and donations for toys and all that stuff is really big for a lot of families that are struggling right now. So great work on that side of things, Mike. And I try my best to kind of keep involved there. I know we're all busy, but yeah, definitely available.
Be on the lookout because there is some fun stuff coming. So those that aren't seeing, pay attention on Twitter. We have another watch party coming up eventually here. We're going to try and bring something fun for the holidays. So definitely be on the lookout for that.
Absolutely. I'm going to take a couple more comments here as we go. It looks like Brian just logged in. What's up, Brian? I know you're working today. We talked a little bit before the stream yesterday. He said, tuning in for my morning cup of Kraken while at work, living my best life. Nice. Good to have you on the stream, as always. Big supporter there. Hoping to have Brian on one of these days. We want to talk about his trip out for his first Kraken game. It's fun to have everybody drop by from different parts of the community here, and great to see Brian on the stream as well. Ty saying 100% on board for toy drives, and yeah, this one's big. We do this at my workplace. Pretty much, it's always available. There's always a way to donate and make a difference for people. I don't know, Mike, in your community, what you're seeing as far as food donations and things like that, but really big this time of year, right?
Yeah, I can't remember the amount of food that we had, but it was a lot. It was a lot. I mean, I know I raised close to $280 just in donations, I think. It was great. I mean, everyone, thanks for chipping in for that again, but I can't imagine what we do for toys, but it was really cool to see. I don't know how Caitlin carried it all, so or Ray for that matter. The two of them must have been powerlifting that stuff. So,
yeah, if anyone could do it, they could definitely do it. So, thanks to them, everybody that contributed to that. Really, that was huge. I remember seeing the picture of the pile of food and everything. So, I wasn't able to be out there for that one either, but definitely contributed, and it was good to see the result. Really big outcome for the community at large.
Definitely. I can't wait to see how much more we can grow too. It's still early, right? I mean, we're 2 seasons in here.
Right. Yeah, it's such a good start. A lot of momentum, and the Kraken are playing good, and we're going to talk Kraken here. I'm kind of saving some of Striatic's comments here about goaltending and such as we get into the matchup preview. So keep the comments coming, you guys. Mike, I do want to talk a little bit about your collection you've got there in the background. Cool stuff. I wanted to put this picture up there because this is one of my favorites from at one of the games. We bumped into each other during the meetup, and you had the bigger buoy troll doll there. We were joking we were going to get you one of those baby carriers so you can carry buoy around at the game. But yeah, let's talk about your collection. You got that stick from Winberg last year, right?
Yeah, I still have that behind me. I brought that upstairs because I've had it. I've been trying to find a place to put it. I don't know. I think with me, I kind of just go all in with something. And since
Hmm.
this community like helped me make so many friends, I just kind of dived in and I've loved it. So everything from autographs to memorabilia to giant buoy plushies, it's sitting up there now. I love it. I have the small one behind me. It's actually holding the Kings puck from the matchup they did at the warm up puck from the game last season.
Hmm.
And so like this, it's just a lot of things. But I also like to share this collection. I mean, like just because I go out and get autographs, I don't keep most of it. I keep a lot of stuff for myself, which I put in totes or I display, and I try to do giveaways. So it's I try to make sure that I can bring some of these autographs to people who don't just have time to go out or don't know how.
Yeah.
I really do try and share a lot of this stuff. I mean, I have a lot of hockey sticks. I don't give those away because those things are hard to come by.
Hard to
But we
ship
might.
too, right?
That's yeah. If it broke and I got it to you, I mean, I can't offer you a refund on free, and I feel guilty. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm
Donnell
trying.
point. Oh, sorry. Donnell pointing out here. He's saying, I see you got the Kraken reverse retro kind of in the corner there in the background. Hope that's an Adidas and not. Donnell doesn't like the Fanatics jerseys, but
Oh, okay, okay.
nonetheless, it's cool. Did you get a number on that one, Mike?
I did. That's actually my Bjorkstrand one. I have two of the not. They're not the Fanatics. They're two Authentics. I can't wear Fanatics anyways. Like I don't know the way they fit. They just don't fit me right. So I do wear the Authentics. I
Yeah.
wish they were more like the ones off the ice than for like actually authentic, like how baseball is. But it's yeah. That's my. I got a Bjorkstrand and then I got a Vince Dunn. Because I did the autograph signing at the Iceplex with Vince Dunn. So he was nice enough to sign my jersey and write the because he got the first goal at CPA, right? So he wrote that on there
Yeah.
for me, and that's one of my prized possessions now has to get framed up. Yeah,
That's
that's my
awesome.
jersey. I'm wearing that tonight. That's why it's on the door, so I don't forget it when I leave the house. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'll get on the way and have to turn around. I've done it before.
Yeah, both the wife and I have done that as well, and it's not a fun feeling when you get there and you're like, oh man, forgot my jersey. Stratix saying Team Bowie, all in over there. Donnell also pointing out, he said, remember when I told you, oh yeah, that's right, he got the Rangers and Devils. Donnell's a big reverse retro collector here. On Thursday, guess what? I will get my Islanders reverse retro today. Can't or wait, that was on Thursday. Today he's gonna get. Can't wait to see the Fisherman in a prime green. So that's great to hear, Donnell. Great to have you on the stream. Love hearing all the excitement for the reverse retros. They kind of surprised me when I saw them on the ice. I wasn't too sure about when I saw the pictures and such, but once I saw them on the ice, I was sold. It looked pretty fantastic. But yeah, I just
Oh,
have a
I
home.
love it. Those things are so beautiful. Like
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. I think they feel different, but they fully feel the same. It's just because it's new.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're great. And the numbers on the back, though, I'm telling you, once you put, especially if you get one autographed, it's gonna pop. Like it's just gonna look really good in a frame.
Yeah. Let's talk, let's preview the game a little bit here. I didn't want to go too long today, about a half hour stream, just kind of pop in,
Yeah,
pop out, chat a little bit, say hello to everybody on the chat here. Stratax and KSP is amazing. I think I lost track a little bit. I'm not
that,
sure what.
that's Kerbal Space Program. That's the game that
Oh, okay.
that's the game I run the community for now. I've been there for 3 months, but yeah, that's what KSP is Kerbal Space Program.
All
And
right.
then KSP 2 is the new one coming in early access in February. So that's
Okay.
what keeps me busy all day and
Gotcha.
sometimes night.
Yeah, sorry I lost track there. I, I'm not, I'm a little bit older, Mike, so it takes me a while to keep up sometimes with all
Hey,
the
there's no age range in science, right? And I'm just saying,
right.
you never stop learning.
Right on. Okay, so let's talk matchup here. Going to switch over to, I got the matchup card here, and we can look at this a little bit closer. We're gonna do a couple of rapid fire questions here at the end, kind of holiday themed. But the Kraken, they're kind of looking. It's hard to see on the screen, Mike, but we'll talk through this a little bit. We're obviously hoping to start another win streak, looking for 2 in a row. Tonight we had that big win against the Rangers on Thursday. Were you out there for that one, Mike?
That was a feel good game. There was a bunch of us there. It was a good time.
Yeah, I know it probably felt like a gut punch when they allowed that late goal again. It was like kind of, are we going to do this again? But they were victorious in overtime, probably a huge celebration. That's, I think, the first time they have won in overtime at home in that fashion, but
It is the
pretty
first
awesome,
home overtime win. The first actual overtime win was against Pittsburgh last season.
right?
That's the first home one. So yeah, it was very exciting. I didn't realize that either because I went to all those games and I never thought because they won in shootouts, right? But this is
Hmm.
different than shootouts. This is a whole different
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah, that 3-on-3 is pretty exciting and it can happen pretty fast.
It's exciting if you're not a Kraken fan. It's stressful if you're a
Like,
Kraken fan.
yeah, definitely. They haven't had the best luck in the 3-on-3. I think, it's something they're trying to work on too at practice, right? We see that.
It showed. It showed. So
Okay, so our power play hasn't been as good as it was, I think, earlier in the season. So maybe a little bit of leveling off there, coming back to the mean, if you will, the normal. But I would like to see them a little more aggressive on the power play. Really, though, the story, and I kind of want to talk about this. We'll switch away from the matchup screen. For me, the story's been, Martin Jones. I did put the poll question out there. I had a lot of response on this one. People definitely kind of siding with Martin Jones. Just over 500 votes when I screen capped this one. But I don't know. How do you feel about this? Obviously, we're going to probably hear about the decision the next couple of hours. But
this is where the comments blow up, right? This is where everyone's going to be like, how can you? I'll be honest. I lived in the Bay Area when Martin Jones was there going to the Stanley Cup, right? Like I remember seeing what happened, but you think about it though, everyone keeps saying Martin Jones, Martin Jones, Martin Jones. What do we do when we burn him out? Yeah. That's the whole thing with me is like, we also have another goalie coming back with Chris Drieger, possibly next year, going into next year. There's a lot of stuff to be figured out, but we got to put some faith back into Grubauer. Like I believe in him. The defense is better this year. I want to see him healthy. I don't think he looked right at the beginning of the year. I don't think he was feeling good. So
yeah, I would agree. Honestly.
Yeah, and then going into this, I just think that there needs to be more of a, 60-40, 50-50 split to make sure that we don't burn out any of our goalies. I mean, last year people were like, well, Grubauer, but he was in there every game. How many times did you see Chris Drieger in the beginning of the season? It took me a minute to remember who the goalie was. So yeah. It's for me, I just want to see us give him a fair chance. If he does a rough season this year and he can't get it together even with the defense and Martin Jones is that much better, then they can have a different conversation. But for now, I'm still riding the German gentleman train. Shout out to Maya for that nickname, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm all in on that, and I do believe that he's going to have a good year. And I just think that the fans need to stop being so harsh on him. Remember, he's a human being too. Like I don't care if he makes $6 million or $60. Like we got to have some love for our team here.
Yeah, great points across the board. I think just personally, I would go Jones tonight, and then maybe put Grew in for the next one. But I could alternate either way there. Sounds like Gregory would go Grew tonight and Jones on Wednesday. A lot of people were kind of surprised that I had even posted this. I'm like, well, it's an off day. What else are we going to do except argue
about? Something to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I just feel like you said, you're going to eventually need to get Jones some rest, even if he does kind of become your primary go-to as Grew kind of recovers. And I think, just reading the tea leaves a little bit towards the beginning of the season, like you said, I don't think Grew was 100%. So maybe we would be cautious, I think, to give him a fair assessment as the season goes, instead of just looking at last year, which was terrible across the board defensively. Grew was also not great at times. But yeah, I don't think last year was a fair assessment. And I really don't think the 3 games and 1 period in relief, I think, that he played so far this season were worth really assessing his performance overall. Got to see how it goes.
And I think a lot of people forget too. And he played, previously in other teams. Like he had a defense in front of him that was really good. Last year's defense was terrible. So let's just be honest, it wasn't good. At least now going into this season, we have some defense that's actually like playing. So I want to, and they're not. How do you stop a puck when they're standing in front of you?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at
running into you.
Or leaving you out, just to leave it out to dry. How many times did we see a breakaway goal last season where we're just like, oh, shoot, I hope he catches this.
All those turnovers too, right? Just felt like they always ended up in the back of the net last year.
Exactly. And I just, try and not drink too heavily at the game tonight if Drew's in. But like, let's have some faith. Let's have some faith in him. I do think that he's going to really turn it around this year. And let's not forget how good he was for years before this. It's not like you go from that to now all of a sudden you're an amateur goalie. It just doesn't work like that.
Right. Consistent goalie for many years coming in, plus 90 save percentage, good success in the playoffs as well. So yeah, we shouldn't be writing him off. I think we do need to be patient, give him time to recover and get into the lineup, get reconditioned a little bit. But yeah, Christine Norton, good to have you on the stream. Saying I'm on the Grew train there, shiny stuff, split time for now. And I honestly think kind of the split time's the right approach. And That way you give Jones some rest, and you also allow Grew to get his feet back under him and adjust to how the Kraken are playing in front, because they're a lot different this year, I think, than last year. That, you know, the systems have evolved a little bit, how they're playing, how they're, you know, attacking more on the forecheck. But defensively, definitely a little bit of a different look and cleaner so far. So I think Grew would benefit from that.
I agree.
On the flip side of things, you know, the Kings last night lost to the Canucks, and I think this is the second or third time now I've seen McClellan in the postgame just not thrilled at all. Borderline throwing guys under the bus with this comment. He said, "I thought there were some individuals who let us down tonight rather than the group as a whole." And I feel like, I'm pretty sure this comment was kind of directed at their goaltender, Jonathan Quick. He hasn't been good. And I think Stratic pointed this out earlier here in the comments. He said, "It's remarkable how well the Kings are doing despite their poor goalie earring."
It's a good word. I like that one.
Yeah, that's good. He's also, you know, keeping me on my toes reading this stuff back. But yeah, and this maybe, you know, they're going to come back to earth a little bit. I would like to see how the Kraken attack tonight, knowing that they're going to see a team that's tired, right, and their secondary goaltender in there.
You know, I'm still not going to write this game off. The Kings, sometimes they just come out and you're just like, you know, Kopitar brings it back, right? And you're just like,
Yeah.
what's going on here? So they need to make sure that they're applying pressure the whole game, because the Kings are going to bring it, and I know they are. I don't care if you say they're tired. They played a bunch of games in a row. That we need to bring it back to them. Otherwise, they're going to be in your face all night. Especially
early in the season, right? Like back-to-backs, we talk about it a lot. It's probably more of an issue late in the season, but like right now, I think teams are fairly.
They're coming from Vancouver. It's like a 3 hour drive. Like they're not going to be that tired. So
definitely,
it's not like they're flying to New York tonight to play. You know,
right? And like you said, Mike, maybe a little bit of a feisty team. I would imagine they're going to come out fired up based on just the sentiment from McClellan there in the post game. But what do you want to see from the Kraken? How do you want them to start this game? Obviously, a good quick start would be great, but kind of the things that you're looking for as they hit the ice tonight, Mike.
I just want them to control the pace. I mean, you don't want to see LA pushing it up the ice the whole game, because if you do, you're going to lose. That's the whole thing. LA is also. I would not be surprised if we saw a minimum 3 fights tonight, just because you can feel it when they play each other. I think the LA is still mad about that game last year where we went to LA and we was it like 7-3 or something like that. It was Alex Winberg's fastest goal in Kraken history, and I'll never forget that game because I was there and it was incredible. But LA hasn't forgotten, and they're still fighting to show that they're one of the top teams in the division. Let's not forget last year though that those games against Edmonton in the playoffs were probably some of the most exciting hockey we saw all last season.
Yeah, that was a great matchup.
So for me, I just want to make sure that the Kraken control the pace. They play good defense and they keep the puck in front of them, and no breakaways. Like we can't afford any turnovers early. And I don't care if we score in the first. Same thing. If we go 0-0 into second, I still feel good. But we need to make sure that we're applying pressure and not letting them control the pace.
Yeah, I always like good clean start. It doesn't have to be chaotic scoring right away, but just a good steady start, clean in the defensive zone. That's what I'm always kind of looking for.
No penalties. We'll go with that.
Yes.
Let's not punch people in the back of the head. All right.
Right. Yes. Stay out of the penalty box. And it would be great to see them deliver on the power play, just maybe once tonight, kind of get back on the positive side of things there. But yeah, so that's kind of the setup for tonight. Take a few more comments, and then we're going to do a couple of rapid fire questions, and that's going to be it for today. So let's go through some of these comments. Brian saying if it's a reverse retro, he got a Bjorky spelled backwards there because it's flipped around. But yeah, Ty telling Donnell, post some pictures. Yeah, over on Twitter is a great place for that. The Fisherman jersey, pretty cool. Stratic saying KSP even has a Kraken in it. So what an appropriate job for a Kraken fan to have, right?
That's actually my picture on Twitter now. Is I had one of the artists at work draw me has a Kraken on it, but not the team because I don't want to use their logo, but has a Kraken from the game on it on the shirt. It's pretty great.
We got let's see here. Yeah, Donnell was saying people hate the shootouts. I'm not a huge fan of the shootout either. I wish they would just play the 3-on-3 until someone scores, but I know there's a lot of debate on that and the extra point that gets given out in those games, and we can go on and on about that. But I mean, I don't hate the shootout. I just don't. I would prefer to see a clear victory.
They're exciting to watch, though. It's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
it's like penalty goals in soccer. It's just fun. I'm a fan of it, but I know why people aren't.
Mm-hmm. Haggith saying, hey, and what's up, Haggith? A new subscriber here in the last couple of days. We chatted the other night. They need to shoot it more on the power play. And, as simple as that may sound, it really is the easiest strategy for success on the power play. And it needs to just be a good shot on net, get some traffic, get to those high danger areas that the analytics people always talk about, because that's how you do it, right?
They need to get the puck to Ollie on power play. That's all I'm saying. They give it to him. Good things will happen. Don't forget, he led Columbus last year in goals. I'm just saying, like, he's the real deal. 400th game tonight. I'm just saying, we're going to see a goal.
I feel like he's going to get on a roll, and then it's just going to be consistent output, and we'll forget about this kind of a dry spell that he's had towards the beginning of the season. But he's a great player. He does so much defensively too.
He's still allowing goals. Like, he's getting the puck in the right place. So people forget about that too. Like, he's kind of flying on the radar, and I think he likes that. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's keep going here. We got Stratic saying the schedule so far has been very amenable to just starting Jones. This will change in the coming months, and this is a good point. And this goes back to getting Jones some rest. More back-to-backs. Right now, I'm not worried about burning out Jones. So, yeah, I think Stratic and we kind of agreed that we'd like to see Jones tonight. I'd be okay if Grew went. I wouldn't lose my mind or anything, but I think it's going to be Jones tonight. We'll see. Hackstall tends to surprise us at times, and then I would expect Grew in that next game after that. But, yeah, shiny stuff saying, love Jonesy, but we can't overwork him. We've still got a legit second goalie. And then Stratic again, December and especially January is when the goalie rotation becomes incredibly important. So kind of that look out into the calendar, right, Mike?
Yeah, it's a long season. People forget we haven't even played 20 games yet.
Yeah,
there's a long season ahead.
I think this is game number 18 tonight. We do 3 back-to-backs in January, so that's going to be quite the spell there. And yeah, going to probably see some more rotations in the lines, I would bet, at that time too. Injuries can start to pile up, so all sorts of things can happen as we go forward.
We all know the lines change consistently here. We need to keep some stuff. I mean, if Winberg and Burakovsky better stay together, though. If they break that line up, I'm going to riot. I'm already mad that Bjorkstrand got kicked off, so it's fine.
Yeah. And, sometimes they'll do that to try to spark some scoring, just a little different look and chemistry, and kind of get that player's confidence going again. So, yeah, I think Bjorky, he'll come through. I hope he does tonight. That was your score prediction over on Twitter today. So I think I said Matty Beniers, but it would be good to see Bjorky get one.
Either way, I'm happy.
Yeah. Higgins saying, it's going to be a tough fight, but the Kraken are going to show there's only one king in the Pacific Northwest. I love it. Christine Norton saying, Mike's calling 3 fights. Let's see if you're right. Okay, so I'll keep track on Twitter tonight. We'll call it the Mike Fight Night tracker. All right? I'm going to be at the game, so I'm really looking forward to it. Are you going to be there tonight, Mike?
Yeah, we're going to be doing a group photo at the end of the first period. So if anybody's at the game tonight, come by, shake hands, high five, hug it out, and take a photo. Right
on. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be right down there at the wall. First intermission. Looking forward to it. It's always fun.
Heck yeah.
Brian saying, great point. LA versus Edmonton series. That was a great series, and you kind of had all the elements there. The heroes and the villains and the drama, and it went 7 games. Really a fun one to watch.
Definitely.
Is 3 the over/under? Oh, really?
For the fights tonight?
Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Josh is taking the under.
Okay. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'm feeling good about 3 tonight, so we'll see.
All right. Yeah, that is a lot, though. Kraken, I think, have the most fighting penalties, or one of the top.
I'm telling you, somebody's going to hit Borgen, and someone's going to hit someone on the team, and Borgen's going to take him down. That's how it's going to start.
Brian, and this is what I was saying. I feel this way. Once Ollie gets one, here comes a bunch, and it'd be great to see that.
I agree.
Calling for a Bjorkstrand goal from Joshua. And Mike, you have a great name because my name is also Mike. So when I read these back, I feel like they're talking to both of us at the same time.
It's cool. We'll take it. We'll just figure it out. It's like when I'm at work. My boss's name Mike as well. So we have a fun time figuring it all out.
Ty, also good point here. Jones played for LA back in the day. He backed up Jonathan Quick there so long. and has been successful. He's a go in my book. So we'll keep dialed in to all the people providing great coverage over there at the practices, reporters. So big shout out to all those groups. They do a great job. And I've said it a few times in streams, but we're kind of spoiled in this market already with such great coverage and content makers. And it's just, isn't it awesome? Like you said, year two.
Yeah, and for all things Seattle sports, I mean, I have a good friend that runs the Circling Seattle Sports, and that dude works hard. That group, there's not very many of them that run that thing, and I got to give it up for they cover everything from hockey to college hockey to soccer to women's soccer. They don't have one thing; it's universal. They're covering literally everything in the area. I don't know how he sleeps. I don't think he does.
Yeah, sleep's overrated, right?
I need it. I'm getting older.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I feel like I've gotten less as I've gotten older, so I don't know. Okay, so let's do a couple rapid fire questions. If you guys want to play along in the chat, I'll try to read those back, and then we're going to log out for the day. Get out there in the sunshine and enjoy things before the Kraken face the Kings. Mike, what's your favorite visit at Climate Pledge Arena for food or drink when you go there?
Oh, I'm kind of like the Ballard, like what is it? Is it the Ballard Pizza Company? Whichever one's in Club. I can get it in the Amex area now too. The pizza is pretty all right. And it's $12 a slice. Not cheap, but also, it's better than the $16 sandwich without any fries on the side. So
yeah, the chicken sandwich.
I'm also a fan of sneaking your own food in. Don't tell everybody I said that.
Well, I mean, as long as it doesn't have metal in it, you're usually pretty safe, I think.
Exactly.
It's like the Mariners games. You can take pretty much whatever you want food-wise in there, right?
Yeah, they don't care. You already paid for your ticket.
Yeah. Okay, next one. So let's talk holidays a little bit. Thanksgiving dinner. What is your favorite item on the Thanksgiving dinner table?
Stuffing, hands down. There's nothing that comes close. It is undefeated.
Nice. Do you put gravy on the stuffing, right?
I mean, it depends how I'm feeling. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. If it's good stuffing, you don't need to.
I feel like you're a man of my own heart because I'm a huge, some people call it dressing too, I guess. But yeah, stuffing with gravy. I do like the mashed potatoes, but they just kind of fill you up, I feel like, and it doesn't allow me to eat as much. But yeah, I'm a stuffing guy. Okay, and here's an interesting one. What would be the most unique item on your Thanksgiving table? Or maybe, non-traditional.
Ooh, everything's like sometimes I'll do meatballs, to be honest. So really? It's I mean, my great grandma taught me how to make them when I was a kid, so it's been something that I've been making for many years. Sometimes it just takes a long time to do. So it's just like the prep and everything. I mean, it's not as bad as making a turkey, I guess, but I'll sometimes bring those to the family engagements.
Christine, stuffing too, 100%. Gregory, cornbread stuffing and sweet potatoes. Oh, nice.
Sweet potatoes, you can't go wrong. Is that the one with the butter and the brown sugar on top?
Yeah.
Because if so, you got me. I'm with you.
Like yams, candied yams.
Oh yeah, that's the sweet treat right there.
I know a lot of people do love like the cranberry. You squish it out of the can, it still has the lines and stuff on it. Some people
you can have all of them.
Yeah,
that's fine. You can have mine.
Oh, Greg's saying Big Chicken Shack. Yeah. And I think, honestly, that might be the place that's creating that, and the burger place. Ty was joking about this earlier in the week. It kind of creates a smell that your clothes hang on to a little bit after you leave. I think it's both of those places.
I liked the Big Chicken Shack, but the problem is they got rid of it. It used to come with French fries for $16, and I was like, you know what? I can deal with that. Now it comes with nothing for $16, and it's kind of smaller too. They've cut back a little bit, but I still like it. It's just be ready to spend $20.
Yeah, you're not getting as good of a value, it feels like. I was kind of tricked, I felt like, because I thought that it was cheaper without the fries being included. But like you said, it's pretty much the same price, and then the fries are, an add-on. So
yeah, they're not even that good of fries. They're always soggy. I'll complain about stadium food all day. Like if I'm paying this kind of money, I want like top notch. Let it cool off, then put it in the box. You're open early enough. It's gonna be all right.
Maybe we can get Shaq on the channel and we can talk about these things with him, because I feel like he would love to get this feedback. So if anybody has any contacts with Shaquille O'Neal, we can reach out to him, but I don't.
Perfect. I'd like to mail him a jersey to sign for me as well. So thank you if you have a contact.
Yeah, for sure. If Shiny Stuff's in food, put it in front of me. It won't live to see the next day. So not discriminating, no favorites there. Just give Shiny Stuff the food. Ty saying, as a Norwegian, I'm all about the salmon on Thanksgiving. Interesting. Okay.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Seafood feast mode. Let's go. Ty, do you do the lutefisk? If I'm saying that right? That's like that brined fish. It's not very tasty for most of us that aren't Norwegian, but I'm kind of curious if you do the lutefisk. Not sure if I'm saying that right.
I'm not sure.
Orange glazed sweet potatoes are the bomb.
I've never had that, but if you want to DM me on Twitter a recipe for that, I will be more than happy to try it.
Striatic. I'll just eat an irrational amount of standard mashed potatoes. Some people like meat and potatoes. Just give me potatoes and potatoes. I love that. Yeah, I actually kind of like.
I would choke. Wouldn't you choke on them a little bit? Like, you know, I have some family members that can make them a little dry, so I feel like I would be struggling to just have those.
A few more here. Butter, brown sugar, and a hint of vanilla extract in my sweet potato. Ooh, nice. Okay, I'm taking notes here.
Yeah,
all this is going in the recipe book. Bavarian sausage is good too. Interesting. Yeah, we
can't go wrong with sausage in general, though, right? I mean,
yeah, that is definitely top of my book for eating as well. Oh, so lutefisk. No, that stuff is not in my American rotation. Yeah, it's pretty awful. I did try it once, but and I am saying it right. Okay, well, maybe I'm Norwegian. I don't realize it. Anyhow, okay, well, thanks for playing in the chat, everybody. Like Mike pointed out earlier, it is fun to talk about all this. Just remember, there is a lot of people out there that aren't going to have these things on their table. So any donations you can make to food banks, they definitely need them this year. Mike, it's been a pleasure having you on today. Any last shout outs or things you want to talk about before we sign out for the morning?
Yeah, just the one thing I wanted to mention, if you're not following me on Twitter, please do. And we're going to be announcing some more holiday stuff to get back to the community. But also I want to give one shout out to some of my friends that I've made through here, for everybody from Maya to Shay to Ray, Caitlin, Max, Evan. There's so many of you that I've met, and it's been the community here was great. And, say hi to all these people, people that you see me engaging with. They're all great people. I don't want to forget about Ari, Dami as well. They're some of the nicest people I've met. I'm like the protector for most of my friends, but they're really nice people, and you really should get out there and make some new friends in the Kraken community, because they're all really great. If I left people off, I'm sorry. 32 crew, I love everybody involved with that. There's some really great people, and I hope I see everybody that's watching this at a Kraken game one day or at a watch party. And if you have time to donate this holiday, please do. We're going to be asking for some stuff to get some toys to kids. That's going to be coming out here shortly. And on my personal today, just because this was a fun thing to do, and I'm really happy I got to be here, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for a Will Borgen puck. I'll announce the winner tomorrow. Nice. I'm going to be putting it up. That's why I keep bringing him for fights today, because I do think he's going to lead the charge with that. So there'll be one puck. It's going to be this one here, and I'm going to put that up online for people to just follow, retweet, like, and you're entered. And I'll randomly have to go through 100+ people, I'm sure, to figure out who's winning. It used to be very easy to do these when I had 25 people do it. It's a little bit harder now, but I'm very happy to give back a little bit. And again, shout out to all my friends and everyone. And thank you very much for having me on here. I hope to do this again soon.
Absolutely. And if you want, like Mike said, go follow him over on Twitter at NerdyMike. Mike, I'll try to amplify that giveaway tweet later, retweet and all that. And again, go vote on that Upper Deck My MVP fan competition. Should be a lot of fun. Thanks again, Mike. If you want to log out in the background, I'm just going to wrap things up, and we'll see you out at the game tonight, okay?
Great. Thank you. And you can vote for anybody from Seattle. It's okay. Just don't vote for Vegas. All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Yep. See you, Mike. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. So that's going to wrap things up for the stream today. Like I said earlier, we did have the podcast set up to put this episode out as well. So if you want to go subscribe, follow on your podcast app. We do exclusive audio stuff over there, and it's always fun to have you guys along in the chat. Like I said, I do appreciate all the engagement and support here on the channel. Looking to keep improving, keep the community going, and do some good things with all the different groups out here. So follow over on Twitter if you don't already, and like the stream, subscribe, all that stuff is great. Try to keep things fresh and new here, but looking forward to being out at Climate Pledge Arena, and it was great to have all you guys on the chat today. for another episode of Morning Cup of Kraken. Appreciate the support. Let's see if Kraken can win 2 in a row. Big divisional game tonight, and I'm looking forward to it. Thanks again, you guys. We'll talk to you again soon here on another stream. Not too long from now.